Another way to check the health of the upload that you've just created is to use something called the Transform Data menu, which is located at the top over here. In the background, what you don't see is Power BI actually running a query to actually go and get the data that you've actually just uploaded. By clicking on Transform Data, you actually open up another window and you're brought to this view, which looks a little bit technical with all these menus along the top. And this ribbon at the top allows you just to have a lot more interaction with your data and make changes to the way it gets the data and where it can source the data, which we'll show you later on. And there's all transformation options and where you can add another column if something's not quite right. So you've got quite a lot of tools in here where you can actually then play around. We're just going to go back to home. And what I then want to take you to is the left-hand side of the actual window where you can see here where it says queries. And in this particular model, we've only got one data set, so there's only one query that's actually grabbing our data. If this was a multiple data set Power BI model, then we'd have lots of queries shown down here, and by clicking on them, you can select them. When you do click on the query, if you look over here at the top in the middle part, it looks similar to a Microsoft Excel formula. And again, if you come over to the right hand side and do that drop down button, you see a load of script which does look very much like a formula. And this has been created by Power BI to actually go and get your data. And when you then close it back up again, it just makes it a little bit easier. Where we're going to be doing a lot of our work is here in the middle, and I'm paying particular attention to this top part. Now, each one of these, again, is similar to the actual name you see in your Microsoft Excel file. But if you look on this little left-hand corner, you can see some characters. In this case, we've got ABC, and the one next to it, we've got 1, 2, 3, and then over here, we've got ABC and 1, 2, 3. That's quite important because what Power BI has done there has actually looked at your data and said, I think this looks like a number. And if you actually click on that little column that you see, which makes it go green, and then click on that little top left-hand corner again, you get a drop-down menu. And this is where you can actually then change the type of that data just by clicking on one of these options. Now, in this particular case, it said it's a whole number because we can see 1, 2, 3 there and 1, 2, 3 there, and we're happy with that. If I then said, actually, no, I want that to be text, if I just click on text, it will then say, do you want to change it? And I say, yes, I do. So let's replace the current data set. And now that has actually been recognized as actual text. Now, that change has also now been recorded on the right-hand side where it says query settings. And you can see here now it's actually said changed type. If I've made a mistake, all I need to do is actually then cross that off. And if we look back to where we were, we can see that this has now changed back to what it was originally. And if I want it to become a whole number, because ABC123 actually means any type of data, then I can click on whole number. And again, it's now changed to a whole number, and that change has been recorded here on the right-hand side. Using the sliders, you can again go down your sheet, looking at all your data, making sure that each one is actually in the format that you actually want it to be. So again, this helps you with making sure that the visualization you create, it will actually be the way you want it to actually be when you come to creating the charts.